Yes, YouTube, what's going on? What's popping? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. As those of you might know, I'm currently in how do you say it in athletics term, warm weather training. So this is basically like a review of how my whole experience has been, since it's like my first ever review. But first, before we get started, if this is your first time coming across my channel, just Unplugg. And also, I go by Alison. I don't know why I haven't introduced myself, by the way. And this is just Unplugg, where we do whatever we want to do on this channel, really. Also, apologies on the audio. It's quite windy today. But yeah, actually, I want to show you guys the view. This is my balcony during the duration of my stay in this Airbnb. Lovely Airbnb. Yeah, so I'm just going to talk about how the whole experience has been for me. What's the weather like? Is it something that you should do? And as an athlete, is it something that what's the reason behind it? And also, is it something that's gonna improve in terms of like speed, get faster? And I've also obviously noted down some questions that some people might ask, but I also think they're interesting questions as well. And hopefully, you guys can let me know in the comments if this is something that you want me to keep doing. I'm very passionate about traveling, and I would love to do this as a career, travel the world and just review, things. But yeah, yes, let's get cracking. Let me stop waffling anyways. First of all, I'm in Portugal, Faro. Portugal, Faro. When I first actually arrived, it was raining. No, actually, the day that I arrived here, it was actually sunny, very sunny compared to UK London, where it's, you know how the weather is, cloudy, it's grey, you know what I mean. And it's true. The moment I got here, I'm not kidding, my mood just changed to a good vibe, where it's like, oh my days, the sun. I love the sun, and it's just something that I wish London had, and just the fact that it doesn't have it, it's something that we just have to deal with. You get used to it eventually, of course, but when you travel to another country, you realize that, wow, there's actually a whole different world out there for us to enjoy ourselves and things like that. Yeah, but the day that I arrived, it was actually sunny. But this is actually my first time in Portugal, and I didn't know what to expect. I just came with with no expectation, just calm. As is warm weather training, I've never done warm weather training, and I have no idea what warm weather training is. Or obviously, you hear people say, "Oh yeah, it's good for you." It's good, as in like you come, you're training under the heat, you go back, you feel a lot more sharper, a lot more stronger, and a lot more, faster. And I said, yeah, I hope so. I hope I enjoy it, of course, because obviously I'm taking time off work. 3 weeks. 3 weeks off work is a long time. What's life really like in Portugal? It's actually good. It's got as good and it's got as bad. I'll come to that. But there's more good than bad, if I'm honest with you. Is this something that would I come back? Of course, absolutely. Is this something I look forward to, as in like live here in the future? Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it's in one of my top 5 countries, I would say. So let's get to the questions, right? So what made me decide to come to warm weather training this season? Number one is obviously to get faster, to get stronger, and also to experience what it's like to be a pro, day-to-day life. And obviously I do a 9 to 5, and after work I have to rush home, change into my training gear, and rush back out to training. And doing that from Monday to Sunday. Second question. So where did you go for your warm weather training, and why did you choose that location? Honestly, my coach chose that location, and also we went to Portugal, where we are in Portugal. Faro, coach pretty much organized this, choosing Portugal as he felt this was the best location for us in terms of the heat, the weather, and things like that. Don't get me wrong, it did rain a few times where it was really cold nights and things like that. But overall, I would say out of 10, I'll give this a good 8.5. So next question, how long were you out there, and what was your overall goal for the trip? As obviously I explained earlier, overall goal is for me is to train like a pro, become faster when I get back to London, achieve my goal for this year. I don't want to set a limit, but I feel like a lot sharper. What did a particular training day look like for you? We just did, so for example, we will train 6 times during the week. So every other day will be track session. So for example, Monday will be heels and general conditioning, and then Tuesday will be a track session, and then we'll do maybe short sprints and long sprints and things like that. And then you would have Wednesday maybe hills again, and then with back to back maybe running on the beach and stuff like that. And then Thursday track. So every other day will be track and then something else. So that would be the duration. So we would do that during duration of the trip, I would say. Yeah. So were there any standout sessions that really pushed you with that you're especially proud of? I would actually say the sand. That's probably one of the sessions that really pushed me, because I found it really tough. I'm not gonna lie, really, really tough to run on the sand, especially on the beach, while my other colleagues were breezing me by maybe 10-20 meters ahead. And I even come up to them like, yo, how are you doing it, bro? I'm sinking, Like, literally, for example, I'm coming out of my drive phase and going through my transition now. Normally as a sprinter, you're meant to be upright, legs up and stuff like this. But I'm here. I'm literally running on the sand like this, and I'm literally trying to push off the ground to get my hips back up. But it was so tough. But yeah. But I think when I did do that and I went back on the track, I was like chipping, I would say. I was really moving, and I feel like if I do more sand run, like on the beach, that would actually help me like drastically on the track. So I feel like, yeah, that's something that I could definitely be proud of, and that pushed me, I would say. Yeah. It's actually freezing. Like, how did the heat and climate affect your performance and recovery? Like I said, some days, like for example today, every other hour the weather would just switch up. It would just rain for a good 30 minutes, and then we'll just switch up to hot, sunny, let's say 20, 21. Yeah. So, well, you have some days where it's just throughout the whole day, it's just beautiful, hot, different. Like, in London, you get, they always say like it's 20 or 25, but it's still got a bit of breeze cold. But here, when it's actually 20, 22, 25, it stays like that. It's really hot. Really, really, really nice. Did you need to adjust your nutrition, hydration, or recovery strategies because of the heat? I would say definitely electrolytes. I definitely needed a lot more electrolyte compared to when I was in London, because we trained during the winter. I wouldn't be hydrated as much as summertime, which is obviously normal. The weather's hot and you're sweating a lot more and you're training a lot more harder. So definitely I had my electrolytes, a lot more water. That was key as well. Hydrating. All right, moving on. Were there any unexpected challenges during the trip, whether injuries or mental Mentally, sorry. In terms of challenges mentally, yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, Portugal has a lot of hills. That's one of the cons for me. Like, where especially where we were, a lot of hills. Where I remember the first week we did a hill session. I don't know what was more painful, running up the hill or walking down after the run, because boy, my quads were put to work. And I think after the third week, I actually loved it, and I felt the difference in terms of like my glutes were a lot more stronger. I had a lot more push, I would say, and yeah, I was able to hold it, that pain, and overcome that pain, I would say. In what way do you think warm weather training benefits you physically and mentally? I'm about to find out. I hope it does it makes me a better athlete when I go back to London, because I did ask coach. He said once you go back you recover, so we're probably gonna have like a recovery week where not too much running. We're still gonna train but not too much running, and roughly around May to June, April, then you'll definitely be able to see the benefits. Okay, the next one, what lessons are you taking with you into the rest of the training or season? My lesson obviously be taken with me to training is definitely keep improving. Don't get caught up in the mindset of like it needs to work now. Rather take it step by step, like it's a journey, and understanding that it won't be easy. Nothing in life is easy, and also just enjoying the sport. I feel like when you enjoy it, the times will come, and yeah, your answers will come. Like the answers that you're looking for will come. And yeah, any final thoughts or stories you want to share on the trip? Like I would say, embrace. It's gonna be challenging. Well, mine was really challenging, and my coach was not gonna let us get away with anything. Be yourself. Enjoy the group that you're with. Like a really cool group. I have a really cool group. Really, like we laugh, joke, mock each other. Yeah, it's really nice. I really enjoy things like that, as well as meeting people and stuff like that. Stories I was tell. Not really. But yeah, that's it, people. I just want to say a big thank you for obviously taking your time and listening to me sharing my experience on my first warm weather training. If this is obviously your first time, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm actually going to do a lot more vlog, traveling, things like this. And also, if you haven't actually watched my first vlog, make sure you do check it out as well. It gives an insight of how I kind of started off the journey from London and headed over to Portugal. I think the biggest thing I did regret is not vlogging a lot more, because it is difficult to actually like vlog, train, and I think that's something that was very challenging for me on this trip, because I did come with a mindset of really trying to vlog and give, put more videos out there and give my viewers more insight of my day-to-day life and what I do and things like that. But it was genuinely a struggle and things like that. But obviously I'm only to blame because I'm the one that created this channel. But other than that, I'm gonna obviously keep trying my hardest. That's all I can do. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you. I'll catch you guys in another video. Yeah, peace out.